All right. Hi, I'm Dante. I'm a fly fishing guide in the Northwest. I work for the Avid Angler. And today I was out here practicing and playing around with the OPST MS trout rods. These rods were absolutely phenomenal. I will say the first thing I noticed when I picked up the rod is just the quality of construction and the beauty of the rod. The wood, reel seats, the custom cork just looks really good in hand. And upon first cast, one of the things that I really appreciate about this rod is that I didn't really have to figure it out at all. The 5-weight, the 10-foot 4-inch 5-weight, and the 4-weight were both very friendly on learning how to cast them. These rods have a sensitive tip, and yet you can feel them flex really deep down into the cork. And that's what I love in a trout spay fly rod. The rods have so much feel, yet you can bomb cast at just about every distance with both of these things, that they're just a joy to cast in every way. Not only that, when you hook up a fish on these rods, it truly feels like you're fishing a trout rod. They don't feel overpowering. It doesn't feel as though you have too much rod in your hand. I don't care if it's a 6-inch trout that you're catching, all the way up to a summer run steelhead, which I got to catch today. These rods tend to handle fish really well. The sensitive tips make them easy to cast. The powerful butt section makes it very good if you're going to land a fish. And they just perform really well in every way that I can think of. I've had the opportunity to fish quite a few different trout spay rods. And one of the things that can make them challenging is a lot of times you have to figure out how to get the rod to load. With these rods, you pick them up, you set them up, and they tend to go really well, very easily. The cool thing about that is I noticed that I wasn't thinking very much about the cast while I was fishing. I laid a line out there and I could focus in on the fishing. I'm not thinking about the casting at all. Therefore, I felt like I was just fishing really well. The rods feel super fishy. I had a great day fishing these rods because I didn't have to think about what was going on at all. The D-loop set up really well. I was able to cast these rods off of both shoulders. These rods are light in hand, and yet they still throw tips really well. I think the 5-weight had a T11 on it. The 4-weight had a T8 on it, and both of them tended to handle the tips very well. I guess overall, I just can say that I cannot recommend these rods enough. For somebody who's just getting into trout spay fishing, so somebody who's done this a while and feel very experienced to it, I think anybody can pick up this rod and within no time feel like they're making casts, presenting flies in the right way to trout. And I think all around they're just really enjoyable rods to fish. Tons of mojo to them, sensitive tips, just great all around trout spay rods. As much as catching fish on a swing is something that I love to do more than anything else. However, one of the challenges that I've found over the years is that when I have a 5-weight trout spay rod in my hands, sometimes it can feel as though I'm fishing an 8-weight rod. So even a 16-inch fish or a 17-inch fish doesn't feel like much when you're throwing an 8-weight. One of the cool things that I found out about fishing these rods today is that the 5-weight actually fishes and performs like a true 5-weight rod. Both the weight feels like a 5-weight rod. The casting feels like you're casting a 5-weight fly line. And when you play the fish, you feel as though you're playing a fish with a true 5-weight fly rod in hand. So all the way around, it feels true to weight. You don't feel like you're overpowering the fish. It feels like you're truly trout fishing and not fishing a rod that's designed for more of spay fish. So a 10-foot inch 4-weight is absolutely perfect for a 5-weight fly line. I love the fact that it doesn't feel like it's overly heavy at all, and you can cast the line with ease. You can make nice presentations with it because it's light enough in hand and the tip is sensitive and light enough for you to make those presentations. Yet, as I said earlier, you can also throw sink tips with it if you're using bigger bugs and you want to get down. The rods just are really cool, really a joy to fish. You don't feel like you're fishing too much weight for the fish, and I just cannot say enough about how well they perform. The tug has always been the drug for me. I've always loved fishing two-handed fly rods. Swinging flies has always been my preferred choice of hooking fish. And when you do it with the right equipment, when you do it with rods that don't feel as though that they're too big, too clunky, too heavy, it makes the experience all the more enjoyable. Throughout the day, I feel fortunate that I was able to catch some smaller fish in the 6-inch range, all the way up to a fish that weighs several pounds. And all of it felt really, really appropriate with this tackle. Both the 4-weight and the 5-weight performed flawlessly. I was able to cast the fly and get into position where I wanted it to be. I was able to swing the fly effectively through all different types of water. And then once I hooked fish, I had the confidence that I could feel what was going on with the fish and also land the fish quickly and effectively. I just cannot say enough about how well these rods cast and perform after I hook the fish. If you're really thinking about getting a new trout spay rod, both the 4-weight and the 5-weight are excellent options for you.